Hello Libra, and welcome to your March 2023 new moon reading. So this is a collective reading for Libra, Sun or Rising. I'm feeling that card pretty strongly. It's a collective for Sun or Rising Libra, and this is a very packed astrological week, and this is not an astrology video, so I won't spend too much time, but I am going to mention 3 particular points of interest. There's a ton more going on, but I feel like I would be remiss if I did not actually tell you guys about this just in preparation, just to have in the back of your mind. So I've been getting feedback from people, which has really been lovely. Thank you guys out there who have said this, but they've really been enjoying the focal point, since most of the time collective readings, general readings can sometimes feel like, which area of life does this apply to? So to give it a little bit more focus, we are looking at, even though it's still a collective reading, and of course it's not going to hit for every single Libra out there, we're looking at which area of life is being drawn like to your like as a focal point, like where is your energy being drawn to for this new to full moon cycle. Now, because most people relate to tropical astrology and that's what they're familiar with and that's what they follow, we have a new moon moving into Aries on Tuesday at 10:23 a.m. on Pacific time, right? So adjust for that, but that's what the new moon is. And I'll talk a little bit about the other astrological points I'm going to touch on in a little bit here. So these are meant to be really quick readings, but they're a little bit longer because I'm talking about some astrology stuff. So, hopefully that feels helpful. With Libras, what we have as a focal point is the 12th house. Now it says introspection, and yes, we could say that it is about introspection, but really the 12th house is about a sense of spirituality, about that kind of unity and oneness that we experience on a spiritual level in whatever way that looks like for you, right? So it has to do with psychic abilities, with spirituality, with altered states of reality. So can have to do with reaching those places through maybe meditation or yoga or certain types of spiritual practices, or also plant medicine could be a thing, on a shadowy aspect. Like the more shadowy places of the 12th house have to do with secrets, what we conceal or don't mean to, our blind spots, right? What's hidden in our psyche, and also the desire to escape. Like it's a very sensitive house, and if you're someone who feels into this like everythingness and you feel into the oneness, it can feel really overwhelming. The world of the mundane can feel overwhelming, and it can feel like the desire to escape is really strong. And that can come through in some shadowy ways, right? It can come through substances, it can come through Netflix, it can come through food, right? Like it's the ways in which we try to soften the edges, to numb and escape, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that when it's done on a toxic level or to some degree that is not working for our life and working for what we are growing into, then that's where it becomes an issue, right? Otherwise, the 12th house is about faith. It's about this coming together of all of the elements in our life to let go and to have faith in something greater than ourselves. And for some of us out here, we struggle with that. I'm one of those people. And for some other people, it's just like swimming in water. It's their natural way of being. So the 12th house has a lot. It's a very complex and deep house. And so that I just want to give you a sense of like where this is being focused into. So it's a very sensitive place. It's definitely a place of great awareness and spirituality and belief, like faith, allowing, letting go, and in all of those realms, those kinds of themes. Now, let's take a look at so from the new to full moon, right? This is the time of like building energy, building until we get to a place where it like pops at the full moon, and then we start to wane, right? So this is a time where we can really, every month we have the opportunity for about a 2-week-ish period of time to build the energy, to create momentum, to get that snowball rolling, to create what we want. This is why people set intentions on the new moon. They talk about seeding and all these things. another way that we could look at that, a way that I look at this, is more grounded and pragmatic in a certain way. Not to say the other ways aren't, but just like to really bring it to that place, is how are we like able to focus this energy? What do we need to put our time, energy, and attention into? And so that's what we're actually looking at here. That's what we're actually looking at here. You know, sometimes I'll take those cards, but unless I feel it, I'm not going to take it. So it's funny that happened twice. Yeah. So I want to shuffle these cards and make sure that we're really like getting the one that I'm feeling is the one that we need. So how to focus your time, energy, and attention with regard to, you know, this particular phase that we're in. And with all the astrology that's happening, which I will mention in a moment here, for like this particular week, but I mean, like, it's this particular week feels like a lot, right? So interesting. We have the Magician card. And then let's also take a look at what kinds of other spiritual advice we can have to kind of round this out. Just feeling that, right? Yep, right there. Okay, awesome. All right, Libra, let's take a look at what you've got going on here. So first, we're starting out with the Magician, right? How can you focus your time, energy, and attention from this new moon to full moon? And actually, really quickly before I get into this, so I recorded these early so that I could have this up in time for the new moon, but also it's coming out on the day of the spring equinox, right? This is, you know, if you don't follow the Gregorian calendar New Year, if you're like, I don't really resonate with the new year starting on the 1st, right? It like some of us kind of somewhat do and some of us don't, right? But like the new energy, the new year, I feel like is really just like the spring, when the spring is born, when this new energy is coming through, right? And so in tropical astrology, that would be Aries, right? Which is a cardinal energy, which is like this combustion of energy, this bursting forth, which we start to see that with the flowers and grass blades and whatnot, right? So it's like on Monday, March 20th at 2:24 exact for the equinox on the West Coast on Pacific time. That's when it's exact. But really you could say like that whole day really on Monday is when these readings will be coming out and is this new energy, new beginning. It's maybe not going to necessarily feel like that because of all of the other background astrology that's happening. But then the next day is when we have the new moon in tropical Aries. So the new moon moves into Aries at 10:23 a.m. on the West Coast on Pacific time. And so that's, again, that's that cardinal energy, that's that new energy, that's that burst of combustive like type of energy that's moving forward. And then 2 days later, we have Pluto moving into Aquarius. So it ingresses into Aquarius for about 5 or 6 months. We get a taste of what the next 20 years are going to look like, because, and why I say a taste is because it will move into Aquarius from Capricorn for about 5-6 months. I have to check up on that, how long exactly it is. And then it will go retrograde back into Capricorn, and then it will move back into Aquarius and be firmly in Aquarius in 2024 for approximately 20 years. I also don't have the exact date on that. I'm actually doing a bunch of stuff with that this week. But when a planet, or well, it's not a planet, but when a celestial body moves so slowly, and it's one of those way outer celestial bodies, moves and transits into a new sign, and it usually takes a very long time for it to transit a sign, we can look at this as eras in our life collectively as human beings, generations, eras, right? And so yes, this will affect us on a very personal level, and also it affects us on this collective level, right? It is huge. So we will see, it's almost like an overlay that we can see on top of our collective experience together, all of the themes that are going to come with that. We're going to get a preview of what that's like from this Thursday all the way through the next 5-6 months. And so I would really pay attention to this. It is a big, big deal. And of course, what affects us on these collective levels with these collective themes affects us on a personal level as well. So this is something to really pay attention to. That all said, I'm hoping that that's why these readings are a little bit longer for this particular new moon reading. So let's get into it. My intention is that these are helpful in guiding you through not just the new to full moon phase, but through especially these astrological times that we're in. And those are the most notable ones that I want to mention. There's a ton of other stuff going on, but that's what I want to mention. So with that, speaking of abundance of energy and experience, we are looking at where you can focus your energy is the Magician card, right? So we're looking at the Magician card, and the Magician card is really about, like, again, this card is about where can you and how can you focus your time, energy, and attention with regard to your life, especially when it has to do with your spirituality, your sense of allowing and being in the flow of things, right? Being in a sense of like acceptance with the world, tapping into what feels aligned spiritually, whatever that means for you. Even if you're somebody who is more scientifically minded, science in a way we could say, in the way that we looked at alchemy, and alchemy is a science, right? It was a sense of spirituality. It's a belief structure. It's a belief system, right? So find a way to apply this to yourself. And the Magician, I feel like, is also an alchemist in a way, right? So I feel like this is really appropriate. This is about looking around and for you focusing your attention on really materializing the things that you want to materialize in your life in what feels the most aligned. Notice the alignment here, right? What feels the most aligned for your life, right? So the Magician takes all elements available to him and creates him, her, whatever, right? Like to him, and creates this materializes from the ethers, from the elements, from the energies, puts everything into motion to create and materialize what he's wanting to create and materialize. We could say manifest, right? So you have all of the elements that you need present in your life to create what you want to be creating next. And it has to be what is in alignment with your belief system. It has to be what's in alignment with your sense of spirituality, your sense of connectedness and self, right? And there's something to know about this is that you have everything that you need. Even if it's not that you have everything you want, you have everything that you need to start the snowball process to create what it is that you want to create. This time that we're in will not necessarily feel like other spring and new moon times that we've had previously, because there's so much other astrology that's happening that doesn't necessarily have it feel as like free and like just liberating in that way with that kind of energy. However, that doesn't mean that that energy isn't still there, right? So this is a chance for you to really take and harvest and create all of the newness for what you have at your disposal currently, to put that energy forth, to get the ball rolling, to get the snowball rolling, right? To get the momentum so that you can create and manifest the things, materialize, right? Things that you want to create in this world, and you have the ability to do that. So this is what your time and attention and energy needs to go into for the next for this particular new moon into full moon phase. It's about moving this energy forward. It's about taking this energy and utilizing it, utilizing what you have to create what it is that you want to create, right? So don't waste this energy. You have an abundance of energy available to you, and it's time that you use it. And then we also have, like with your spiritual advice, it's basically saying like, hey, this is not the time to stop. Like you may feel weary from going through trial and tribulation after trial and tribulation, but this is not the time to stop. You are meant to go forward and to continue on. In that though, you need to take care of your health. So for some of you out there, whatever that looks like, maybe you've been running yourself to the bone. You need to make sure that you're taking care of your health, get enough sleep, get some water, like move your body, get some fresh air, like all the basics, right? Like just make sure that you're taking care of your health at the base, because otherwise you can burn yourself out and you can be like the wounded, weary warrior, or you can have the stamina and the endurance to keep going, to create what it is that you're creating, to have this experience that's aligned so that you can see what's on the other side, so that you can continue forward with your path, right? So this is what the message is for you, Libra, and I hope that this is helpful. So, check out your March reading if you want kind of like the more like full picture of what has been going on, what's occurring, and how this has been progressing. I will have that up on the screen. And also in the next few days, it's going to be April. So I'll have the April readings up. So make sure you hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you have the, like the notification for like when the video drops. So I hope this is helpful. I'm wishing you so much ease and clarity and flow as you go through this. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you for being here. Bye.